How's it going, guys? This is Sabro94 and today I'm going to show you guys a new deck with this new Regigigas from Prismatic Evolutions. Ultimate Tera Killer. I was about to say VMAX, but no, it's Tera. Pretty similar though. When you can hit for 330 damage, it kills those guys too, if it could hit them with the effect. But basically this guy is a basic Pokemon. Regigigas, awesome. Giving him a worthwhile card. I mean, he has a bunch of decent cards compared to the video game where he kind of sucks as a legendary. Should have been a lot more epic, but anyway. 160 HP for a basic isn't great, but it's as good as it's gonna get for these basic Pokemon that don't evolve. So we'll take it. And the main attraction is of course the Jewel Breaker attack. It does 100 for 4, but if you're hitting a Tera Pokemon, it does a whopping 230 damage more. So that's 330 damage total, killing even stage 2 EXs in one shot. So this is the perfect guy to kill something like Charizard, something like Dragapult VMAX, Dragapult EX, man, I'm just losing my mind here. But you get to one-shot these Pokemon. Now, I thought long and hard how to power this guy up. With energy acceleration, you sort of need something for these 4 energies, and I couldn't really come up with much. I mean, Gardenia, that wouldn't be too great. Just, you know, you get 2 with that and you still need the manual and you still need a second manual to power up. It's just not very effective. So it might be a little bit boring, but I think Baxcalibur is the best partner for this guy. Basically a Baxcalibur deck, and instead of utilizing Chien-Pao, utilizing a bunch of regular Pokemon like this Regigigas, and it becomes an anti-meta deck. So to go with this anti-meta tactic, Regigigas is only going to get the bonus if it's hitting a Tera Pokemon. If it's not, then 100 for 4 is pretty terrible. So we're combining it with a few other attackers, namely this Walk-in Wake, which is basically Suicune with a beard, I guess. And this card isn't very good, to be honest, but this is not really many regular Pokemon that would be good. That can just do a lot of damage without any cost. I mean, I got this Kyogre, which is great, but it needs more energies and is mainly used here for a sniper. This guy, he can just hit for, give or take the same amount. 180 if you put 9 damage counters on it, which is terrible. But it doesn't matter too much, again, unless we play against spread decks or maybe against Dragapult, that's going to matter. But for the most part, it's just going to hit for 180 and then your opponent kills you in one shot regardless anyway. And the Aurora Gain can also be handy. It's not a good attack, once again, 20 for 1, like this is base it hit much hand. But if we open with this and my opponent opens up with Budew, that card, I'm still sort of pretending it's seeing play, even though I'm not seeing it much, then you can hit that thing and try to kill it quickly like that too, without really spending too much. So it's another good thing, I guess, over this Kyogre. But anyway, 2 of this guy, and then the aforementioned Kyogre. I think this card is super cool, and the artwork is awesome as well. Wave summoning is way too risky, but we might do it. You can search water energies and put it onto himself. Yeah, way too risky. Your opponent's gonna kill it, but you never know. Dynamic Wave is what we want to use. 4 energies, snipe something for 180, and then put the 3 energies back in your hand. So I thought you actually discarded them, but you put them into the hand, which is even better. It means you conserve energies, and you know, it actually is in some ways this guy a more worthwhile to run, like maybe this Suicune, but I got it like this for now. And then the last Pokemon, I guess, that can be used as an attacker, but is mainly here for draw, is this Radiant Greninja. You can do the double snipe, since we got Baxcalibur here, might as well. And mainly use them for concealed cards, of course, and that's about it. The Baxcalibur line should be sort of standard. 4 of the Frigibax basic. I'm running this one with 70 HP, even though it has a 2 retreat. Absolutely inexcusable. But this is what the Pokemon Company likes to do. Fuck with us. This one also has draw a card with collect, and I think it's better compared to just doing like 10 for 1 or something. At least help me draw some stuff set up if I gotta do it. The one Arc-T Arctibax, your stage 1, still terrible, but what we got. And then the 3 Baxcalibur for your energy acceleration Pokemon. Attach as many water energies as you want. Last thing, I guess, is this Manaphy. I decided to have this in too, since I guess I can search it with Irida as well. We're favoring her. So, basic stuff. That's the deck. A bunch of basic Pokemon. Trainers should be sort of standard as well. Again, my philosophy is to not go overboard with the items for Buddyu, but I had to run a lot of them in this deck anyway. Like, you gotta have your rare candies for the stage 2, you gotta have your nest balls and your Pofins to get your basic Pokemon, and gotta have the vessels as well. So in retrospect, I didn't really cut anything that I would have normally. Even the energy retrievals, you gotta have a few. Whether you want to do this or you want to do superior energy retrieval, just something to get a bunch of energies back. I prefer this in this sort of deck. The idea is we shouldn't really have too many troubles with energies unless I'm dumping too many with Greninja. Especially if my opponent is using a Tera deck, then we're definitely just favoring the 3 Regigigas and not really these guys. And then he should be able to do the job. Okay? What else do I got? Touched on these, energy, recovery card, standard stuff. Ace pick of choice is going to be the Prime Catcher. Just a nice switching outlet and a pulling card. Could be handy in this deck, given our big ass retreat cost with a lot of Pokemon. The one switch, yeah, I almost forgot about this. Gotta have one. And then the supporter cards, standard, I want to say. Since this is a water deck, Irida, I max her out instead of just running some other suboptimal supporter cards for the most part. This is at least something consistent. It's only 2 cards, but it just helps us get the stage 2 out, helps us get a key trainer card like the catcher, a switch. Maybe you need the vessel to get energies, never know. Get those basic Pokemon early game. It's just too good. The 1 youngster, 4 Iono, 1 Zisu, and the 1 Cynthia. Just a lot of standard stuff. I'm doing 1 less youngster than usual because we run the Iridus in this case. But, it's the supporters of now, I guess. A lot of these cards are going to rotate out too, but this is like my potential big copycat chorus. Draw a lot of cards, depending on if your opponent has a lot of cards. Same thing with Cynthia. If something dies, you get that extra draw. And the Iono is standard. Solid draw and disruption. I also have a new card here I'm using. Lana's Aid. Appropriate since he's a water trainer. She works in this deck because we don't run any EXs, so her recovery effect is basically flawless in this case. Get 3 of any combination of Pokemon or energy cards from the discard pile to the hand. I think it's better than running something like Miriam in this case. And there's always the chance I can just use this to get energies only, depending on the circumstances. Okay, I don't think I forgot anything, right? Oh yeah, the boss's orders too, one of this guy. Typical stuff, I guess, from my other decks. And then the stadium is just 1 lively stadium. Each basic Pokemon gets 30 HP. We're all gonna benefit here. It probably won't make a difference, but maybe if this guy is 190 HP, maybe he can tank a hit. I got this mostly as a counter stadium, and it's just something that it's not really gonna, it doesn't really give me any drawback, to be honest. Stage 2 decks like Charizard are not really gonna benefit from it, Dragapult, so it really doesn't interfere with our attack. I guess with Raging Bolt, maybe I'll force them to discard more energies, shit like that. But if we play against that deck, we're not going to have a good time anyway. Okay. Energy is just 12 water energies, standard stuff. That's it. And this is basically the deck. I mean, I can't really think of any other way to make Regigigas, power him up in terms of energies. This card is probably like, people that are going to use it, they're probably going to use him as a tech, but I think he can work as his own deck as well, as a sort of anti-meta deck. Perhaps in the future, we'll get better ways to power him up. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe I forgot something, I don't know. But I thought I'll use him with Baxcalibur. And I'm gonna show you guys matches as usual. I got requests to show more decks with like evolutions. I might do like maybe Sylveon, but to be honest, I know what deck I'm gonna show after this Regigigas as well. I got an idea for something else. But if I do like any other evolutions, it's probably gonna be Sylveon as a sort of crappier, maybe Gudra, and that's it. The other ones you can't really use. Espeon, Umbreon, they're too gimmicky. Umbreon just costs too much to do what you want to do with it. Discard energies to get prizes. It's just not worth it. Okay. So that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sub to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What-ay?